Okay, so for this question, we just mentioned that 2% of all users of street drugs who do not use fentanyl would test positive for it. So when they give you a percentage, what is that? Any idea?
Now you're going to need to walk me through this.
I will. So the 2% represents what? We're trying to figure out if it's hypergeometric, if it's binomial, but given that 2%, it should make it easier for you to realize what that is.
Like just first instinct, I'm thinking it's binomial, but...
Yes, because that 2% is the probability.
Right.
It's 0.02. They give you the probability. So if they give you the probability, that means it's most likely binomial. But we need to decide if it's independent or dependent. So if I pick one, I go on the streets, which I'll never do, PS. But if I do go on the streets and I say, hey, I just tested you for street drugs and you have fentanyl. I'm going to pick someone else. Hey, I'm going to test you next. Because that guy had fentanyl, you must have fentanyl. Is that true?
No, it's not.
It's not
true.
It's not true at all. So these are independent events. Although one person tested positive for it, it does not mean that the other person will test positive for it. It's not affected whatsoever.
Right.
Okay, so now we have P. We know it's binomial now, so we can go ahead and write the probability for X.
Okay.
Which I'm sure you remember. If not, you're allowed to have it written down.
Brooklyn Anderson, please report to the office.
Okay, so we're going to label our variables here. We have P.
Yes.
What is our X? What are they looking for? What do they want? The probability that?
Right, so 2% of all users street drugs fentanyl test positive. If 100 users sample, probability the 2 or more people test positive.
Right. What does 2 or more mean? 2 or?
2 or all the way to 100.
Yeah, that's a lot of calculations, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. We'll write that down. That's just our X value. We have P. Let's figure out what 1 minus P is. What's 1 minus 0.02?
Just, it was 1 minus 0.02. Since we're just recording it, I don't want to look stupid, so I'm just going to punch it in.
It's 0.98.
Yeah,
I've got the calculator. Sure. It's okay. Your N, what's your total amount of people?
Total, right? Total is, I think it was 100.
Yep. So then you would just sub in those numbers. So, but you can't just sub in one number because that would be for the probability. Let's start with probability of 2 or more. I'll just write it like that. I'm not going to be doing probability of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's going to take me forever. So I'm going to do indirect, which is 1 minus what?
1 minus, could be 0, 1. 0 and 1.
That's right. 1 minus the probability of 0 plus the probability of 1. There you go. So let's go ahead and do the probability of 0. Then I'll let you do the rest alone. Can you go ahead? Okay. So what choose what?
What choose what? Okay, so, alright, think this out. Okay, so, can we do the bottom?
The bottom?
Is there a bottom to this or no? Or am I?
No, that's hypergeometric.
It's hypergeometric. There you go.
So if we want to do the probability of 0, that means that X is going to be equal to?
Sorry, X is going to be equal to?
0.
Oh goodness, I'm having a brain.
That's okay. You're under pressure because I'm recording you too. So 0 out of how many people? You told me what the N was. 0 out of?
100, right?
Okay. So, and then the probability of success was 0.02.
Okay.
To the power of?
To the power of N minus X?
Not yet. We're on this part right here.
Oh, just the X.
Yeah.
Okay. What was our X again?
I'll move it over. There's a couple different X's. So we're doing this one first.
So 0. Yeah, 0. Right.
And then 0.98 to the power of?
Yep, so 0.98 to the power of 1?
Not 1. 0.98 to the power of the total. So 0 plus what will give us 100?
Oh, right. Okay, I got you 100.
Good. So then you don't only do that one, you also have to do the probability of 1.
Right.
So that's 100, choose 1 this time.
Okay.
0.02 to the power of?
It would be 1?
Yeah.
1 this time? Okay.
And then 0.98 to the power of?
99.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
So that you would add up these two probabilities first.
Yep.
And then you would do 1 minus the answer.
Yes.
Okay. Give me a second here.